The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Where my girl got the sweetest
pussy. Welcome to SinCityBounty. You see, we have a full studio today. Yay. We're going to be talking about some awesome stuff coming up here locally in Las Vegas.
All kinds of titties.
But first, we want to welcome our new Patreon subscriber, William, who provided us with a bunch of information about himself because he paid for the $10 tier level, in which he will get roasted or semi-broiled or tart.
Barbecue to a crisp.
If I'm cooking, burnt. Like, inedible. That's
so
basically what you're
the first thing I have to say is I know William personally, and I just want to, first of all, William, I want to say thank you so much for your service. William is a former Navy sailor, and just so you know, we honor all seamen around here.
Amen. Some more than others.
So I was just going to say some more than others.
I tried to join the Navy, but they found out my parents were married.
Which branch were you?
Speaking of parents being married, William also hails from one of those M states, you know, one of those ones where you can marry your sister.
Parents are married.
It's a flyover state.
Which is your brother or sister is probably married.
That's kind of how it goes.
It's one of those M-flavored
Missouri, Mississippi, even Massachusetts. That's where Boston is, right? Yeah, they all marry their sisters there. So.
But they do it like with an accent, and then they yell at them. And
oh my goodness.
He lists his sexual orientation as a starret pervert. I don't know what that means. Starret is probably some other word. He is a horrible, horrible speller.
Yeah, it's a terrible speller.
Well, it just means that he stares a lot, right?
Just so you
know.
know.
Creepy. It's another word for creepy.
Just so you know.
I'm going to guess.
There's these fun new things on these phones. There's a little microphone down here. So when you click on the thing, you see the little microphone there? If you click on there, you can talk into it and it will spell everything correctly for you! Exclamation point.
His hobbies are porn, video games, sci-fi, sometimes all three at once. I want to tell a story about one of the very first times William Phillips and I talked about porn. He said we were talking about how I like porn cartoons. I love porn cartoons, the funny ones, right? Like Mickey Mouse style or whatever, and all those old ones with Bluto and olive oil, all that stuff. He gives me a videotape.
Wait, hold on, back up. I might have just missed that. They made those into porn?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, everything. Yeah.
Pretty much a
What? If it has ever been animated, it is now
like,
porn.
is someone fucking Rosie and the Jetsons
Yes.
remix?
I'm sure there probably is. It is adorable. It's funny.
How adorable is that? I don't know.
It's pretty funny. When we're done with this, I'll tell you about the first time I saw Swedish animated porn, which is hilarious.
So William gives me this videotape, old-fashioned. This is back in like '97 or something like that. A videotape.
VHS, baby.
Yeah. Of this porn, and it's Japanese anime porn, but it's little schoolgirls. I swear to God, like 12-year-old schoolgirls that have tails and ears, having sex with men that don't have tails and ears.
This is called hentai, and it's popular, and I love it.
I hate hentai. Just so you know.
It's little girls?
No, it's not little girls.
It's not little girls, but they're drawn like little girls.
They're young
but they're
looking,
animal.
How do you differentiate? Like, does the
because
they have
tails
characters are
and ears. They have tails.
Girls.
But I'm guessing, like, if they have like a little gangbang, they're just gonna call them the Terminator because they look like rats, right?
I've seen that porn too.
You did? Okay.
The Terminator was turned into a very good pornography, starring Ron Jeremy.
I've
Oh my
got I've got to venture past Pornhub. Like, seriously, I don't know what this shit is, but I got to venture out my selection here.
This is the stuff you used to get, like, when you back in the old days when you would rent a VHS or you'd buy one and then friends would like pass it around and be like, you got to watch this one. Well, I guess it was just me and my perverted friends.
You wouldn't even have to do that. You go to Blockbuster into that little secret cave that they had there for all the porn that was in there.
I lived with 3 dudes at one time, and one of them was a bisexual dude who was on a gay streak, but occasionally he'd bring home a girl. And that's where we watched some of the most adventurous porn I have ever seen in my fucking life. Because he moved in and he was like, ka-chunk! What's that? My porn. Fucking wonderful.
And then you also know some private proclivities about William, don't you?
Yes, I know that he likes to dress up as a Klingon. And
And
that,
you know what? He looks good as a Klingon, I have to say.
that's because, well, I don't know if that's going too far. That's because I heard a rumor one time he fell down every flight of stairs on an aircraft carrier. And that's why he looks good dressed up as a Klingon.
But when I've seen him dressed up, and I think he has a photo. Maybe he'll share it onto our page or something.
Yeah.
But he looks really, really good.
I don't
He's
know-
tiny though. He's a little tiny dude.
When I first met him, he convinced me to do my very first cosplay as a Klingon, and he dressed me. Like, he outfitted me, kitted me up, and I went to something dressed like that, and I don't know if there are any
Wait,
photos
was
of
it
that.
not a costume party?
And I don't
We
know
showed
if there
up,
are
it was
any
like
photos of
Thanksgiving
that
dinner at his house.
And I had
His family's
everything, and I
there.
used to wear it, and then my ex, husband,
I've seen you dressed up as a Klingon. You were pretty hot.
it's because I got the boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have boob envy. I do. I really do.
Hers
I
are
know.
the best. She
I
will
know.
massage you with
We
them.
need help, but you know.
Like, I only look like I have some because of the bra. Like, the bra's enhancing my negative cup and makes them look like they're external
She's
versus
going
internal.
concave.
Yeah.
She's
Like,
got
what's your
divots.
bra size? She's like 42 negative E.
How negative do we go? How small? Just 13-year-old pudgy boy. That's it. What would you put on a 13-year-old pudgy boy? Bring it out. Bring it out.
William
Bring it out.
Phillips says it was not a destroyer. It was a destroyer, not an aircraft carrier. So it was like
Okay.
a couple 100,000 feet shorter.
So the only thing that I know about William is that his name sounds like a cigarette that my grandpa used to smoke. So, thank you for
What cigarettes were those?
like
Was
Phillips?
it Winston or
Phillips
something?
or Winston. Yeah, something old. I don't know.
My grandfather smoked Pall Malls. So.
Well, we do want to thank you very much,
William
William,
Morris.
for being a patron of ours, and hopefully we'll give you plenty of stuff in the super secret Facebook group that you can't get anywhere else about us. If you want to join, go over to patreon.com and just search SinCityBounty, and you'll be able to become a member of our super secret Facebook group for only $5 a month. William got the whole roasting for $10, so we thank you very much.
And you only have to pay that once, and then you can go back down to $5 a month.
No, or you keep it there. What the hell are you doing?
Trying to keep
You were
it
no
paying?
salesperson.
No,
What the
I
hell?
am not.
Alex says Philip Morris cigarettes.
That was, yeah, that sounds
I thought it was the
right.
name of the company.
That's the name of the company. Yeah.
It
is.
Yeah.
That was the name of the brand of cigarettes before they became a company.
Got it.
Oh, like way back before I was born.
Yeah.
Totally.
You are just a plethora of information.
I am a fount of useless
She
fucking
is.
information.
Anything you want to
It's
know,
so
she'll tell you.
stupid.
Seriously.
Kevin Shaw wants to
Like
know
a
what is this
walking
show
Wikipedia.
about.
Everything.
That's my buddy. I call him Big Sexy back in Stockton.
This show is about butt sex. Get ready for it, guys. 'Cause we are strapping on, baby.
The thing is, we didn't tell them. We told them like they're going to talk about something else just to get them in here, and then we're like, guess what? Butt sex episode.
It's time for pegging with SinCityBounty.
And wait, guys. Not only are we talking about it, but I have photos.
Yeah.
Chris says, "Hey Julie,"
Hi, Chris. He's one of my stalkers.
and
It's okay.
Jonah says, "Hi Abby and Julu."
Juju, Julie, Jay.
So if you click on SinCityBounty, you can
We're
pull
on
up the video live, and the chat is underneath, so you guys can keep track if you want
We're
of what's
on
going
it.
on
We're
underneath
on it.
and see all the people. So
For those of you new to the show, we will literally talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yes.
We have no holds barred. Facebook hasn't kicked us off for saying cunt yet, so we're just going to keep going with that.
And if you have a particular topic you want to chat about, just put it in
Put
here.
it in the chat,
Yeah,
baby.
we can't guarantee we'll get to it.
Of course.
But we'll try.
Yes.
And if you do have the butt sex photos that I was referring to, no, just kidding. Seriously, don't.
Do you know who has all the incriminating evidence photos? She's got a whole external hard drive where she just keeps photos. She says she deletes them. But
Ones
know
that I
she
take in
doesn't.
secret like this.
Oh, you're
Ones that you don't
right.
take in secret when you're like moving.
I got
to the
arrested
left.
for doing that once.
I'm sorry, John?
I said I got arrested for doing that once.
I know, right? But actually, you're very honest about it. Like, if we're all together in a room and you're like, hey, you're looking really good with your skirt, can you lift it up a little? And you're like,
Flash us some puss. No problem, baby.
it's
The great thing about taking those photos on your phone is you can just download them right to your hard drive, and no one ever has to see them
Here's
ever
what's
again.
great about my phone. I have Time Hop on there. So occasionally, like, for example, today, I pull up my Time Hop, and usually my Time Hop is like soccer and cats and just random
Bathroom
shit.
selfies.
And occasionally it's stuff that really shouldn't come up on Time Hop with a cute little dinosaur. And I'm like, oh, no, we don't want that. Nope, we're not sharing that to Facebook. So
Why would a
it
cute
literally
little
just
dinosaur
happened
be
today.
inappropriate?
Because of the photo with it.
What, did you have it stuffed in your butt?
I mean, I literally can show. No, it comes with Time Hop. If you've ever seen the app,
No.
there's a time. Okay, so it pulls up everything that you've posted in the past on this day.
Why would
whether
I
it's on
want
your
that?
social media or
Facebook does that too.
saved on your
Memories.
phone.
Yeah,
Memories, yeah.
But it does it like saved on your phone, and so yeah.
I want to see it.
Oh no.
That's because I've seen that up close and personal. So I get
So that's what came up today.
She's like, let me see. Oh, vagina.
I was like,
He's like,
whoa.
so that's what a Brazilian is.
Whoa. Move on.
All right. Do you want to do some news first before we get into the ladies here?
Sure. So we're going to go right into the political shit. If you have a primary happening in your state at any point in the next few days, please go fucking vote. I don't care which way you vote. Actually, I do care, but vote. Just fucking vote. Because all of you sitting around, the reason the president is currently the president is who the president is because Democrats did not go out and vote like they did for Barack Obama.
So literally, she's talking to you fucking Democrats.
You fucking Democrats, get the fuck out and fucking vote. Libertarians, just keep the peace, man. Keep the peace.
I just saw a post the other day. Alexia reposted it. Lyft is offering ride to vote, free rides to
Free
vote.
rides to your
Free rides
local
or
polling station.
discounted rides to go vote.
Yeah, depending
because
on how
that
far
was
away
the
it
number
is.
one reason people didn't go is because they had no ride to get there. But if your state is as awesome as Nevada, there's usually 2 weeks of fucking early voting.
Yeah.
I vote at the fucking mall. Or the grocery store.
Sometimes you just drive by a 7-Eleven, there's a big ass bus. Vote here. Just get the fuck out, go get a Slurpee and fucking vote.
You're already out there.
Right? You're already stopping for a goddamn donut, go push a button. For fuck's sake.
It's like you follow me when I drive.
She has GPS on my car. Oh shit.
She's like, she knows I'm fucking getting a Slurpee and a donut no matter what.
Yeah, basically. So, the other thing I want to talk about is, so we really do need to reform our gun control laws. That mass shooting, although it wasn't really a mass shooting, a lot of people were injured, but only 2 people died, and I don't want to downplay the fact that it wasn't like a terrible thing. It was an awful thing. The gun he used, although he used it illegally, was purchased legally, but only after he had been involuntarily instituted for psychological breaks. He was on multiple psychosis medications. A person with that kind of medical background should never be allowed to purchase any form of weapon, period, end of story. I don't think the motherfucker should be allowed to buy butter knives. Like, you get a plastic sport that's
You
made
get a
out of
Wendy's
plant
spork.
materials. No. One of those little fancy ones with the fucked up vegan plate that's made out of plant materials. It'll melt in the hot coffee too
Yep.
much. That's what you get. That is all you get. If you are so fucking crazy that hospitals are like, man, you are too fucking crazy. You got to stay here for a couple of months. You don't get to own a weapon. I am a gun owner. I believe everyone has the right to have a gun except crazy people and violent people. You bitches don't get to have guns. Really? Why? Because you're going to use them in situations in which you don't need to fucking use them. Like, let's say You're playing a video game, and you lose that video game. And as happens, as every video gamer who plays any sort of massive anything knows, people will start razzing on you, especially when you die in a lunatic idiot way.
Wait, first off, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it a Madden?
It was.
It was
a
Madden.
tournament.
It was a
NFL
tournament.
Madden
Yeah.
video
It was
tournament.
NFL football video tournament. It was the last stage before they come to the Vegas semifinals. Guy dies or loses his game. He gets razzed by other gamers, which is what fucking happens. Gamers are razzers. That's what we fucking do.
This is why gaming people stay home and become albino and don't interact with the outside
It's
world.
why I don't
Leave
support
their parents'
esports.
basement.
You know why? Because if all these bitches had been home, all he would have done was beat it off real hard, maybe cut himself a little and gone to fucking bed. But no, instead he was out of his house and out in some public venue with his legally purchased gun that he shouldn't have been able to legally fucking purchase, by the way. And then he shot 2 people and injured a shit ton others.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, why did he ever have access to a gun? He should not have. And now, my fellow libertarians, some of you assholes who shall remain fucking nameless, will say, well, that's a slippery slope. If you start
All
saying...
7 of you.
If you start saying one man can't have a gun, then you're going to say you can't have a gun or you can't have a gun. I'll be like, have you ever been mentally instituted? Are you a violent criminal? Have you ever been accused of attempting to kill someone before? No? Then you don't have a fucking problem. If you do have any of those things, or you are one of those people who's on the watch list of they might be terrorists, no, you don't get to buy a gun. I'm sorry. If any federal government, ours, somebody else's, because there's an international registry of terrorist watch list people. All the countries get together and be like, this guy's a little fucking crazy, we have him on a watch list. Other countries are like, thank you very much. If he comes to my country and buys a gun, I'm not going to let him have one. That's just how
Yes,
it's
you over there in the shirt, the creepy looking
my
guy.
fellow veteran, but more
You
liberal
don't
than I.
need to buy a gun anymore because now you can get a fucking 3D printer and print a plastic
I don't
gun.
want people to know that.
We're not going to tell you where
Stop
you can go
telling
to get
people.
this information.
Are you kidding? It's been all over the fucking news.
You don't need to buy a gun, period. Honestly,
That's right.
you can
It's the
buy all the
stupidest thing
parts
ever.
and you can buy all the parts separately and assemble your own fucking.
Before that 3D printer
And us
came
veterans are
along-
really good at that.
Before that 3D printer came along, that crazy guy who does the movies, who does a really good crazy guy,
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
not that one.
Oh.
That's the only one I know, damn it.
He's an actor. But he did a movie where he made a gun out of wood and a
Steve
wooden bullet.
Buscemi?
And it wasn't Steve Buscemi, it was the other guy that's super crazy.
Uh,
Or that plays a great...
Malkovich.
That's it, John Malkovich.
Well, a wooden gun wouldn't really work. We won't go into the physics of that, but it is entirely possible. You never have to actually buy a gun. You can build a gun.
Yeah, I just watched Bones, and there was one episode where she got shot with an ice bullet, a blood ice bullet.
TV show.
Bless you.
Thank you.
like, you know it's not real, right?
Like, you know
I
they
don't
get paid
know.
to pretend, right? It's
Uh,
like,
LaTanya says if you have a record, you should not have a gun.
no. It depends on the record. Now, that poor chump who got arrested for fucking buying, selling, or smoking weed on the corner, he is not likely to go out and shoot somebody. He's going to go out and maybe eat some Doritos. He's probably okay. He's
but there
probably not
has
even going to
be-
go out and buy a gun because, again, he's just at home, a little bit high, eating the Doritos.
Kevin
but
says...
there has to be a line.
What about
Like, you
Coldplay? They have a
can't-
record.
You can't
Yes.
just sit and point
Violent
you,
criminals.
You. Well, what if it's like at a, I don't know. I don't.
Kevin says Madden's been getting people beat up for years.
I would assume you guys know
That's
you're
true.
not really playing, right? Like,
Some of them, yeah, some of
I
them.
say that to my son every day.
I'm-
It's just a game.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a game.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there was probably lots of money involved in this.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a
Serious.
huge
Yeah.
Serious,
buy-in.
yeah.
Like there's a huge buy-in to get in. There's lots of money at stake at the end. There is a lot of money involved, but he didn't shoot them because he lost the game. He targeted the 2 people he killed because they gave him shit for losing the game. Asshole, when did you start playing fucking video games? Because I'm gonna let you know. When I was playing Mario on the original Nintendo in my friend's house and I fell off that fucking cliff, he razzed my ass for fucking days after that. Razzing from gamers has happened since the beginning of time, and if your sensitive fairy ass can't fucking handle it, get the fuck out, go home, and play on your goddamn Nintendo 3DS.
And it's this. I was super surprised that it was a video game convention
I'm
that
not
this
surprised.
happened at,
I'm
or
surprised.
tournament.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
That's what I mean, because there's been all this talk about how video games are violent and they help. But
it was Madden.
I know,
Yeah.
but even then, I mean, it's football. All
These
football
dudes are
players
sitting
are
around
violent,
in
right?
their like Dolphins jersey, like this time it's
No, they're
gonna
not even
happen.
doing that. They're usually wearing whoever is sponsoring them at the event that they're at. They're not wearing football jerseys. They're usually kitted up like a fucking NASCAR driver. They got a hat and like 4 logos on a shirt and a fucking tattoo on their left ankle. They got to keep up while they're playing games.
Life goals.
Yeah.
So
I don't like any of those games, which is why I'm not that kind of
we
gamer.
have a listener in chat. Her name's Cynthia, which I love that name, by the way. And she
I bet
says
it's Cynthia.
it might be, but it's got a K, so I'm going to use the K. Ice bullet has been proved to be impractical. The ice shatters as soon as the powder is ignited. I love that she put that comment. Just so you know, it was with an air pump gun on the bones.
Well,
But it also depends on the amount of pressure being put behind the bullet, because if the ice is not dense enough, the air pressure will actually
and
fracture.
it
That's
also
why-
depends on the director of that episode.
That's right.
Do not get between me and fucking science! Science!
James says there are real guns made out of wood.
Yes.
Tim says you can make a zip gun. We made them as kids all the time. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to put your opinions out there? You don't have to.
No, I mean, I agree. I would like everybody to have like a little thing in their wrist where they have to scan. Like if you're crazy, you get one. If you're on certain medications, you get one. If you kill somebody, you get one, right? Like if it's under the skin, I mean, that's kind of terrifying.
There's
I
a
don't
movie
care.
about that.
Gattaca.
I believe
Yeah, so there's a movie about
another
that,
one.
right?
I believe that criminals can be reformed, but I don't think we get to forget. We can forgive, but we don't get to forget. If you violently killed somebody, sorry, buddy, you don't get the option of purchasing a gun again.
I mean, just
I
the
don't
other
care
day,
if you're reformed or not.
But
you
I think
fucked
if
the pooch.
I think if you have a felony, you already can't. Like you can't own a gun.
You're not
Like,
supposed to,
that's-
right? If you have a
right.
felony.
But they don't check into the mental illness out of a lot of those scenarios.
There's a lot
Well,
of
they
people-
were for a while. Didn't our illustrious 45 repeal some law where people who were crazy could not get a gun?
Yes.
It's been repealed. It's been in place. It's been out of place. There were a lot of gun laws that lapsed while President Obama was in office. Gun laws have waxed and waned. The problem is they wax and wane. We don't have a set system, and nobody wants to agree on a set system because Republicans and it hurts me to say this, but my fellow libertarians will also be like, slippery slope. And I'm like, no, fucking, it's not proven to be a slippery slope. Just get the fuck over yourselves. But then the liberals are like, no one should have guns. Well, the super liberals are like, no one should have guns. And I'm like, I don't quite agree with that. It's why I don't live in Australia. Otherwise, I'd be gone. But
Here's the only
there
thing
is a medium. There is a happy medium right down the center of the fucking lane. And I just wish people would pull their heads out of their own asses enough to be able to say, okay, maybe I can give up this as long as I can get this.
So the only thing I really want to contribute, because we've talked about this, quite a bit. We could really have a whole nother
We
show
could do
about
3
it.
hours and have done 3 hours.
Butt sex. Just to lighten it up a little. But the only thing that I ask as whatever party you are, parents, if you could just lock your guns up, because your kids are all bringing them to school, and out of fairness, like my daughter's right to live kind of supersede your right to have 20 guns around your house. That's all I ask. Just lock them up. That's it. So.
Yeah, be a responsible fucking gun owner. Don't be a dick.
I mean, it's happened today. Another one. Somebody else brought it.
Last week, it was, I was in the middle of Spring Mountain and Rainbow, and I'm like thinking, what's going on? All these cop cars around this bus, woo, 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 and then all of a sudden it's like shopping centers. Everything's blocked off. Well, somebody shot somebody, somebody stabbed somebody, and somebody's on the run. And it's like, that was just like 2 days ago here in our own city, on a bus.
It's so stupid. Listen, y'all, let's go back to the way the Irish used to settle shit with bare knuckle boxing.
And some beer.
And some beer.
Yeah.
Let's get drunk and punch the fuck out of each other and then go get drunk together.
There's some really good comments in the comments, but let's get off this. This is a very deep subject. It could go on for hours, and we have 3 beautiful ladies we need to introduce to the SinCityBounty audience.
So here we have. Introduce yourself.
I'm Karen.
But you have to say it deep and sexy. Like, that's how you introduce yourself on the show.
Oh, I'm Karen.
There you go. All right, all right.
Never that hard. I don't even know how to do it all sexy.
Lift your lips first.
You see, she has to touch the phallic item.
I don't know how to do it all sexy. I'm Abby.
And I'm Julie.
I might have called you like on a 900 number. That's good.
I know. You know what? I've gotten that since I was
believe
like
that.
21. They're like, you have an amazing voice. And I go, I know, right?
I mean, would it be awkward if I called you and asked you to like talk me through a masturbation session? I mean, just
You know what?
Just, you know,
I could take one for the
Just
team. I
asking.
could take one for the
So
team.
what, you're not gonna call me anymore?
You have been repeated.
See, it's
you hear
like
it?
a fucking running theme the last 4 shows. They're just finding little ways to replace me.
Well, I haven't been here the last 4 shows.
So these ladies are with Crave Las Vegas, right? Crave LV.
yes.
On social media, it's Crave LV. I just found your Twitter, where it's Crave_LV. Facebook, just type in Crave Las Vegas and look for the picture of the beautiful little girl with the A on her dress.
Is that a Tony Tails logo?
No, it's just a computer-generated, bigger, curvier lady. So, yeah.
So let me just kind of throw out there, and before you guys get into it, but one thing that Vegas has had for many years is they had a club where I've met the two of you at for many years. We've seen each other at this particular club, and to me, it was very casual. It was something where you could come in and you could be super dressed up. You could come in a little bit more casual. But it was like always going and seeing your friends again. It was like a class reunion, only you liked school. Like you liked the people that you went with. So it was always fun, and that's something that, to be honest, has been missing for a while. Now we do have Plush, and Plush is not by any means gone. We'll still continue to have Plush events here in the market, but they're not on a regular basis. So there's been a void. We do have another club in town that does the parties as well, but every club tends to have a little bit of a different vibe. So tell us what you guys have going on.
Well, I can talk. So I've been in the BBW community for a very long time, when I was probably 10. And
I've been chubby a long time.
But I think that it's just where I've met some of my bestest girlfriends, really. And a lot of us grew up having cattiness, right? And so we wanted something for Las Vegas. Las Vegas was missing it for a while. Unfortunately, some people had some health issues. Even in the bash community, bashes came, bashes went, more bashes come. So we were talking, Karen had the idea, I kind of ran off with that, and then I'm like, okay, well, we kind of died that down, and I brought Abby in, because she's our social media guru. She's the youngest person on our team, and I'm like, why not have 3 ladies that are not in drama, they're not about, being greedy and making money. We just want to provide something for the community, but we didn't want to call it a BBW event. We want to call it size acceptance, because we think that sometimes, not all times, BBW, it seems to be exclusive. Not inclusive. Right. Because me being a smaller BBW, I've heard, you're not a BBW, why are you here? Why are you here? Oh, yeah. And it's so
with
wrong.
With that tone, too.
Oh, yes.
With that tone and that wrinkled up nose. Why are you even here?
Well, you're the skinny bitch at this thing.
But, we all have skinny friends. We all have big friends. We want to be all inclusive about, race, size. It doesn't really matter. The LGBT, it doesn't matter who you are. But at the same time, we want to bring class. We want to bring a little bit of, what you wear. We don't want sweats and shorts. We want to be a little bit like, take time and pride in who you are and know your worth and just be a little bit more classier. It is on the Strip. We've never had anything on the Strip. So it's just kind of trying to bring something else new to Vegas. You guys want to talk?
Yeah, I think for me, I just joined the community in February, so I'm still fairly new to the plus size community. I mean, I've been big my whole life, but actually through Plush. So Katie, I worked with Katie, and she introduced me to Bash, and so I've had a really great experience over the last couple months, and I would love to be able to bring my friends to those events, but some of them aren't, they're not as big, and and I've talked to them, and they're just like, oh, I wouldn't feel comfortable. Well, we want you to come. We want you to have your friends, no matter what size, and feel comfortable in that environment. dance, have a good time, and kind of have the experiences that we've all had. And, for me, it's been instrumental in my last 6 months. It's really been amazing for me, so I want that same experience for my friends.
I love that idea that it's a size acceptance club rather than a BBW club.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the things that people tend to forget is the one way to get over discrimination is to not discriminate. So you big girls who are like, ooh, skinny girls shouldn't come here. Why? Why should they not come here? Granted, they're probably not going to get hit on as much as you are, but does that mean that they get to be excluded from the fun and frivolity and making new friends and drinking amazing drinks and
Some of my
dancing
best friends are skinny people.
booties off? I'm trying to think if I have any skinny friends. we tend to we're like birds of we're like fats of a feather. We just kind of float together.
Well, I have skinny friends, but they have to like to eat.
Yeah.
The good thing is we
Everybody likes to go
actually
to food.
have late night food menu.
Oh, yeah.
So you can drink.
Yeah.
You have drink specials. We have the lemon
Great drink
crave.
specials.
The lemon crave will be our drink of the day, and we have food. So and everything there is. I think there's maybe 9 chairs that have arms. Everything else doesn't.
Very
So it's just
eco-friendly
gonna.
also.
Yeah. No.
So let's talk about the venue for a little bit. So
Yeah.
this is being held at the Thunderbird
The
Club?
Thunderbird Lounge, yep.
Thunderbird Lounge.
Yep, and they've just been really, really great, receptive. They haven't told us no to anything yet. So we actually have a VIP. We have 6 booths that we can actually rent. And I was able to negotiate some really great prices and really come up with some good menus with the girls, and offer something that we don't normally have. We can't go to the Red Label and get booth service. We just can't, right? That's just, it's not even the Red Label anymore. So it's being able to bring a little bit of regular Vegas, because I don't know if any of you felt this way, but if we go to a normal club like Tao, if we're not with a really skinny hot dude or a bunch of girls that are paying a lot of money to get in, they're going to be like, no, you're just too big. And I've heard it from VIP hosts.
I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
refused from clubs
Yeah.
before. Back when I
So-
was clubbing.
Yeah, so we just think that, once a month, we're trying to do this once a month. And really just give somebody a place to just let their hair down, have fun,
So this first premiere event is October 6th.
Yes.
And it's going to be, do you know the address off the top of your head? 1216, right?
1215?
21.
1225.
What's the name of the place?
Thunderbird
Thunderbird
Lounge.
Thunderbird Lounge.
We just
What is
drive
it
there.
near?
It's between, it's just past the Stratosphere, between a lot of wedding chapels next to the Super 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where that's at.
Yeah,
Not
next
to
to
be
the
confused
Super
with Thunderbird Restaurant,
Not
which
in
is an
the
amazing
Super 8.
restaurant, by the way.
Not at the Super 8, though, just to clarify.
Yes.
But you can stay at the Super 8 and walk
Absolutely,
over.
yeah, but
Yes, absolutely.
you can.
But we do have a block of rooms that we secured over at the Grand, which is really nice. So they have the rooftop pool and everything too. So if you want to come for the weekend, party with us.
And where, besides your Facebook page, do you have like a website or something where people can go to?
www.cravelv.com.
All right.
You can buy your tickets on there too. In fact, we actually just started a promo today until September 15th. If you buy your tickets before September 15th, you get entered into a raffle for 4 free drinks.
Plus, it's only $10 if you
Yes.
buy it
Correct.
now.
You save $5
And
on the
if you
door.
pay at the door, it has to be cash, and it's $15 at the door.
exactly.
So it's better if you buy them online now before you get there. Do you have a limit of how many people can be in?
180. That is our
180?
capacity. And I am telling you that our face group in 3 days was over 800. And it says people are already flying in. They're making reservations. Our room block is already half
What-
full.
Let me just ask a question. What if there's somebody who is notoriously late to everything? Will they still be able to get into the club?
As long as you pay for your ticket in advance.
Yes.
Or bring
Yeah.
cash with you at the
Yeah.
door.
I would
I
just
know, but if it hits capacity,
I would get
that
the ticket in
person still
advance
happens
because
to
we can't
just be
sell it.
getting ready.
Then you just have to stand outside.
They're only going to sell 180 tickets, woman.
That's it, yeah. So you just prepay.
I'm asking for a friend. I'm never late.
I've got a couple friends that are.
I'm on
that I
time for
answer
everything.
Let me tell you a story about the last time we went out. I asked her what time are we going to when we go out. She said I will be at your house at 10, and at 10:45 she told me she's putting her makeup on, and at 11:30 she showed up, and we didn't come home until like 6 o'clock the next morning, mostly passed out in the back of a lift.
Hey!
Sun was out.
Dude, we opened that door and we're like, oh Jesus!
From
See, now I have
our,
a rule for friends like that. I do have some friends like that, and I always tell them the time that I actually want to go out. I usually say an hour earlier, and then they're usually ready.
So people,
Tell them, but I do
Yeah. So people do normally tell me the wrong. Actually, my own child tells me the wrong time too. She's like, I have to be there by 7, and really it's like 7:30. So.
Or you can get a VIP booth. You buy the VIP booth, it doesn't matter what time you show up.
And your
There you go.
VIP booths aren't that expensive.
No.
No, well, that's one thing, like Julie mentioned, we want it to be a good environment. The drink specials, they're great. The food is affordable. I mean, it's something we want you to be able to afford to come, and the bottle service is not your typical Vegas bottle service.
Yeah, you hear the phrase bottle service. The first thing you think of is $200.
Yeah.
No.
But yours is only
$75 to $125. That's it. The Ciroc is $125.
Nobody likes Ciroc.
Hey, but all the mixers are free, and it just has the standard gratuity. We have a drink special. The drink of the day is going to be $4. We're going to have $5 you call it. Where the DJ just says, hey, for the next 10 minutes, go get it. Any shot. You can go get your Henny. Hello, Henny. $5. Yes.
So, and our DJ, we're flying our DJ in from Florida.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Yeah,
So,
DJ Delight.
Yep, he's pretty well known in the plus size community.
He's not a gamer, is he?
No, I don't even think he plays video games. He coaches football.
Don't be bagging on my people.
So, really, if you're flying someone in from Florida who coaches football, can you bring my brother too? If
Is
he's
he
in
cute?
Florida, yeah, he's adorable.
Oh, we should see some pictures.
So,
Alex from chat says, I'm looking forward to going. We'll be moving to Vegas in early October.
Yay.
William says, y'all making me wish I was back in Vegas. I can go to this event. David says, hey ladies, the best of luck with your new venture. I hope it goes well and successful from the Davester.
Oh, Dave from New York.
and someone else just to share, they made a comment kind of about
I wasn't
the
gonna mention
other
it.
club. And the only reason I am is I've been there. It's actually, I even commented. It's a phenomenal club there. It's okay to have more than one club.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to have different venues, different clubs,
And it's
different
okay to have different
atmospheres.
styles. Just because you didn't like the vibe of that club doesn't mean a lot of other people didn't like the vibe. I liked the vibe. of
Right.
it.
Plush
Always
and Red
alright.
Label coexisted for a
Absolutely,
really long time,
for
and
a
they were
long time.
friends,
Mhm.
Yeah.
helping each
Absolutely.
other out all the time. So
We need to
think
stop hating on each other. Stop it.
Well, and we support, like we're not going to put our event on a bash weekend. We're not going to, so if we know of things that are out there now, if it's not posted or we're not aware, then there's not, but once a month, we just try not to step on people's toes because we want everybody to have a party to go to.
And it works. The other one is on a
Consistency.
Friday. You guys are on a Saturday, and not even the same, weekend. So
So
there's
that's kinda
plenty
funny.
out there, plenty of places to go. You go, you find where you find your own vibe.
I gotta ask. You said no shorts, no sweats. Could I bring a good-looking dude in a kilt?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wait, are there
Very
no
classy.
jeans?
Crave
Can-
No, you can do
Can
jeans.
we
No,
make a
absolutely.
special request that all the good-looking men come in kilts?
Which basically
With
means all the
nothing
dudes are showing up
underneath.
in kilts.
Right? That it has to be full
Yeah,
kilt.
otherwise it's a skirt.
Right.
There you go, yeah.
If you're
totally.
wearing underwear.
I'm
it's
okay with a
skirt.
guy in a skirt.
That's okay if he's wearing lipstick on there, right?
I'm more turned on right now. Like, keep going. Keep describing when you're describing. Because if you know this guy, if you could bring him.
Somewhere in the back of my sober mind is a drunk song I know about a blue ribbon on underneath. I don't know you've been my boy, but I see you've won first prize. Like I have a ditty in the back of my head somewhere that I know only when I'm drunk and can only sing in an Irish accent.
We all have those songs that we only sing when we're drunk and can sing in an Irish accent.
I've heard yours. It's the pull over now, me friend. Pull over now before we bark. That's what it is.
I'm in the back like this, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna puke.
She's like, I'm fine. I'm perfectly good. I'm like, y'all need to pull the fuck over because I can't not barf if she does. We're on the freeway. You should have seen this boy pull across 3 lanes of traffic at 75. I'm getting off now. I'm like, dude,
I just remember swearing I didn't have to throw up. I just kept going, no, I'm good, keep going.
Okay, I need a hashtag for this conversation.
And the next thing you know,
Hashtag I'm not gonna barf.
So it's funny because the only accent I know is Abu. Welcome to 7-Eleven. How can I help you? Would you like a Slurpee?
so is that like your?
That's totally for you, yeah.
She loves it when I do those kinds of voices.
Do
No,
I?
she does not.
I don't know anymore. Yeah.
I do.
I'm
get a
only
kick
allowed
out
to
of
do.
it.
I'm only allowed to do the white accents anymore. Like Zoya the Destroyer.
I don't
She
need
can
to
come
know.
out.
Okay. All right.
Because she's Russian and white as fuck. That's why. Jesus. As soon as I get my French one down.
I mean, okay, that is where you'll get me. Like that right there.
You like the French accent?
Oh yeah, like that's my.
Like Inspector Clouseau and the Pink
Let
Panther?
me eat your
Yeah,
pussy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Or
totally.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah, no, Pepe Le Pew. Like, talk about cartoon masturbation. Like, Pepe Le Pew. Here's all I need: Pepe Le Pew on one. Like on the TV, I'm gonna call you up, have you on the headset, Pepe Le Pew right there.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna come to your house, which is where I'm storing my vibrators right now.
Currently vibrator
So-
storage at my house.
Vibrator storage. I had to. I'm in the middle of a move, and I'm in a temporary living situation.
Where apparently she can't have her bag of vibrators. She was like, can
Her
you store
bag of vibrators?
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get like 2 vibrators and a grocery bag. She goes, can you take that? I was like, it's a big ass. It's one of those like I took it to the beach with my blanket in it purses, and I was like, it's full. And then she found another one just floating free. It was like, put that in the bag. I'm like,
I found one in my office, and people were coming in to move out my desk.
trying
And I'm
to
going,
sneak it.
stick it in the bag. Stick my vibrator in the bag here.
the bag was already full. It's in my closet right now. I was just like, I had some people staying with me because they were also in a temporary like pass through environment, and occasionally to get some peace and quiet. Because if you've never been to my house, it's a fucking zoo. They would go upstairs into my room to watch TV, and I'm totally okay with that. And I was like, I think that bag's out where anyone can see it. But then I made a comment and realized my dildo's just sitting on the nightstand.
Forget my bag of goodies. Yours is such like you're hanging necklaces off of it. It's just there like it's nothing.
I have things for the necklaces. You
So,
don't hang
let me-
anything but my pussy off the vibrator.
Let me ask you a question. I have currently 4 different vibrators. 3 of them are broken, but I still have them all. So is your bag of dildos the same way?
No.
They're all fully functioning?
I totally want to know.
Batteries
have
just
you
been
named
replaced?
them?
No, I haven't named
Okay,
them.
okay. I'm just curious.
Like,
you
I
know?
guess if I name them, they're all called "Oh fuck." Like, but no.
Mine's like, ooh, that was good.
But yeah, I did it when she came. I had to like ask her, and I really thought, how am I going to build up to asking her to store my vibrators? And finally, I think I texted you, and I'm like, I have a huge favor.
I was like, sure, what is it? She's like, can you store my vibrators for me? And I'm like, I guess, yeah. I don't have to wash them, do I?
Already washed.
Clean.
They're already clean.
Just so you know, most vibrators
hot in
are
here.
safe in your dishwasher. You can just throw them in the top
Oh, yeah.
rack of your dishwasher and sanitize them.
As long as they don't have batteries. This is just
Yeah, take the batteries out first.
Or if they're
Let's-
waterproof.
Yeah.
If you don't have batteries and you have the rechargeable,
What do you say when
as
your
I do
kids
on
find
quite a
it?
few.
Well, you do that.
Mine hasn't found mine yet, so that's good.
I'm sure mine has. He comes into my room all the time. And it's not like I hide the damn thing. I mean, I use it. For
Stuck to the
God's
wall.
That's the wall holding hash.
No, it's on a shelf on the bottom of my thing. You know, if you bend down to plug something in, it's like, hello, and it's like, hi. I mean, it's not like he's just dancing around in the middle of the floor or anything. I mean, he is tucked away, but
that would be the cutest little dildo, one that just danced around while I was waiting for you to use it.
To make myself sound extra pervy, I actually spent the night at her place recently, and I was in her room, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I can ask her if she'll leave the room and I could use my bag.
she's asleep in my bed.
And I'm laying there going, how can
Give
I
me like 10 minutes. I'm going to call Julie, right?
She knows I wouldn't have had to leave the room.
Here's the thing, I really only need 2.5 minutes. When it's my own, I'm down to business. I don't need to like.
Can we talk about that? Do you guys have the same thing? Like, most of the women I know, when they masturbate, they're done in 2 minutes. With a dude, it's like an hour and a half in, and they're like, "Have you found it yet?" Are we all on that same page? Is that just us weirdos?
I think we've mastered it. No, I mean, I'm a bullet person. I really am.
Hey,
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah. So, but I've went through quite a few because the cord starts, sparking, and you have to,
I picked one up one
replace
time,
it.
and it just fell apart. I was like, "Damn it!" I hate it when that
I hate it when you start though, and the batteries are like just dying. I'm like, fuck, and I'm like, do I have AAA? I don't know if I have AAA. I'm all, Where's the nearest remote control that I can pop out the battery?
Oh my
Just
God,
so
if you
I
have your
Totally
son's
stolen
Xbox
the batteries
somewhere,
out of my
where?
remote. And then I forgot, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, that's right, the fuck.
So, dudes, if you are ever missing, if your remote control for the TV
batteries.
doesn't work, it's because
They're not
your
that
girl has stolen the
Yeah.
batteries.
But
Please don't take them out of the smoke alarms.
my most recent ones are rechargeables.
If your
So like
battery,
you plug it in and charge, and yeah,
I think
sometimes
I need
it'll die
that.
during.
Yeah.
if your dildo requires a 9-volt battery, just go with the gas-operated kickstart version.
You never
way
know,
cheaper.
right?
I hope you don't have your mom watching or anything.
I don't think so, but she's a pervert, so she'd be joining in on this conversation.
My
so.
mother watches this show.
Yes,
and
she
regularly
does.
tunes in.
Is she tuned in now by chance?
No, thank God.
Because
But
one
my
day,
celebrity crush was watching for a little while.
one day I have a question to ask your mom.
If you ask about my dad's hands anymore,
I thought she answered us.
But it wasn't a complete answer.
She answered us that she did not know because he never did that for her when he was missing. them. So throwback to a former question. You keep humming. Sierra's mom was married to a man who was missing some fingers, and we wanted to know.
I felt that I wanted to know if the nubs helped him hit the G-spot better. Like if he's in there and nubbing up against it, was it better for fingering purposes?
Yes, and if you
And for some reason she gets weird when I ask her mom.
and if you're tuning into our live Facebook and you're watching this live, on occasion, Sierra Madre will join us in chat and answer our questions for us. So.
Well, I love it. Or she'll join us after and say hi when the show's over.
no. The best is when she ropes my stepdad into watching with her, and he sends me a text going, "No, it's me with the foot fetish." Thanks, I knew that. Didn't want to, but I already did know that.
I know, I'm a 10. He was just telling me that I'm a 10. I get it. Yes.
That's the perverts I'm fucking related to. And you all people wonder why I am the way I am.
My mom is under strict orders not to watch, but it doesn't matter because she's a hippie pothead and she's pretty much high right now. So.
And my mom doesn't care.
No, your mom encourages your less than teenage niece and nephew to listen so that she can talk to them about sex while we're live on the air. Like, no, thank you. We had her mom on one time, and she told her niece and nephew to call in so that she could talk to them about sex.
If they ever had
Like
a
a normal
question,
dinner at
just
my
ask
house.
Grandma.
Is it?
Birds and
It
bees.
is. That's like a normal dinner at my parents' house, so.
That's kind of what I'm doing to my kid, too. I'm making sex so uncool, he's never going to have it. I'd be like, so let's talk about consent. Again? Yes. He hates it. Like, come on, time to watch a video. Ugh.
I always tell my daughter, I'm like, you're so lucky you have a mom that will tell you anything. And she's like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It will tell me anything. And I'm like, I mean, what do you want to know? What do you want to talk about? The very first time I signed her up for, oh gosh, what, shit, I can't think of what it is. It's not Cosmo.
Was it teen?
Oh,
17?
I think it's 17. Because they were having some really great articles. I know it is 17. And they were just so important, you know, to a teenager and things that don't really, you know, that I might not have thought of to kind of initiate. So I signed her up for it and I'm like, all right, we're going to subscribe and here's the website. And I pull the website up and she's there and the very first headline is anal sex. And I'm like, I'm not ready for this. Go ahead, look later and ask me questions.
It's like that's the equivalent of the 1950s parent going, here's a book about your body's changing. Let's never talk about this again. Meanwhile, I'm like, did you wash your dick? You better scrub those pubes because no girl wants to sniff that. And he's just like,
Oh my God.
he's never having sex.
Mine's 11, and he always turns to me, have I started puberty yet? No, you haven't. You have not grown any hair whatsoever. And we just leave it at that.
Yeah, I always told him, you can't act like a man until you have hair on your balls. And he's like, it's just around my dick. I was like, yeah, that's my kid.
I remember when my daughter was little, maybe 4, and she came to me and she's like, you know, where do babies come from? And I guess I had always prepared myself and all of that, and I panicked, and I'm like, let me get back to you. And so I went and I literally went out, like I did all this research. I went and bought this book at Barnes & Noble that I read through, and I'm like, God, there's shit in here I didn't even know. And maybe I'm not going to show my daughter this cartoon drawing of an old man and old lady, like, fucking. So then, you know, I sat down with her and I got started. I'm like, well, you know, when two people, you know, get together, and I started explaining just a little, and she's like, oh, that's all I needed to know. I'm like, what? Like, I have like 5 pages of research here.
I've got draft charts.
Age appropriateness. I have a PowerPoint presentation, kid. Like, you're sitting for this.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
So, do you guys want to talk about your night out at the studios?
We just did.
Oh.
She said 10. She showed up at about 11:30. We partied and didn't come home until after 6 o'clock in the morning. And then she fell asleep actually downstairs for a little while. And I know that because people staying in my house were like, yes, some person fell asleep on the couch for a little while.
I wasn't on the couch. I was in your bathroom.
Okay, it scared me a little bit because I thought you were talking about how she fell asleep at the studios for a little while downstairs.
No, I fell asleep in your bathroom. Do you remember me coming
I
upstairs?
thought you were on the couch.
No, I remember I was in the bathroom, and you have a tiny bathroom downstairs, and it's cozy. So I just remember sitting there, and the next thing I remember, I wake up, and I'm like, I'm still in the bathroom. And I come upstairs, and like your friends were like out there, like. Maybe they thought I died in there? I don't know. But I even came upstairs and you're like sleeping and I'm like, I fell asleep in the bathroom!
Did I stir at all? Probably not.
You probably rolled.
I remember you showed up at some point, but I have no time frame because I was just as fucked up as she was. Just not, you know. Yes, I was already passed the fuck out and suddenly she's like, I was downstairs. And I'm like, I know that. I went to bed. And then the next morning I get up and the people staying with me are like, there was a person asleep in the living room. And I was like, yeah, that was Kelly. She's fine. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, you people are sleeping in my living room. Be fine with it. You're fine.
Like, do you not know I just let people sleep here?
This is Sierra's home for labor of souls. Everybody gets to pass out on my couch.
Like, they're lucky I didn't come out and say, listen, you're on my drunk couch if you can move.
True. My roommate and my kid are pretty, like, it's pretty normal for them to wake up and she's asleep downstairs.
Seriously. To the point where, like, baby daddy is like, go get her a drink, and then your son goes and he brings me some water, and he's like, here you go.
I think this is a great opportunity to let everybody know that if you plan on attending the Crave party at the Thunderbird Lounge on October 6th, make sure you save some money for your Lyft or Uber ride.
Please drink and drive responsibly.
Since they have great drink specials and food specials.
And if you guys need, like, a Lyft driver, we have one.
We have a couple of Lyft drivers.
We have a few, yeah.
Who are plus size friendly and are super nice. Right. And they have codes.
In fact, we should probably hook these ladies up with a couple.
No, that'd be great. Yeah, we can promote them, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
all
know
about
at
being
least one
safe.
of their vehicle is very, like, plus size friendly. So I'm
We
sure
have
a lot of
been
them are.
very drunk in the back of that vehicle before, too.
So
There are
true.
very few friends of ours who have not seen the two of us shit-faced in the backseat of their vehicle. Very few of them. There's even a couple we only went out with a couple of times that have seen us shit-faced in the back of their vehicle.
Yeah, that happens sometimes when Abby takes me out. She takes videos and then she shows them to me and I go, I didn't remember taking a video. And yeah, I get pretty intoxicated. I just think it's because I don't drink water.
We have
but
a
yeah.
no videos rule. We can take pictures, but no videos.
Yeah.
But I always
Abby
find
takes
videos.
She does.
I always find videos on my phone. But they're usually of me talking to myself.
I have some of those too.
We want to thank you ladies so much for coming down. Anytime you want to come down and promote anything that you guys are doing, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to have you. Or if you just want to come hang out and talk dildos.
And butt
that's
sex.
Or
butt
butt
sex.
sex.
Right, right.
Because we can really get to that tonight.
Oh no, there's an after the rose ceremony.
So these are the ladies from Crave. Go to their website, cravelv.com. Find them on all the social medias. Just type in Crave LV, or at the bottom of the Crave LV website, you can see all the links to their social media.
And will you guys have other events or just for rate? Okay.
October 6th at the Thunderbird Lounge. on the Strip, on the start of the Strip in Las Vegas. We will probably be going if Toxie will pay for the tickets up front.
Lyft leaves my house at 10 p.m.
William, thank you again for being a Patreon subscriber. Don't forget, you could help us out. Let us get paid so we can buy tacos and do all that kind of.
If you're watching the YouTube video, the one with all the fancy background shit, not the big green thing in the back, please make sure you hit subscribe and click on the little bell icon so you can get notifications. That way, every time we post a new video, which should happen approximately once a week, you know, so that you can watch us with the pretty background.
Yes. I'm Alexia.
I'm Karen.
Abby.
I'm Julie.
Oh yeah, you're calling me later. Toxie.
And Sierra,
And we will see you guys next week.
if you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.